Are Christians simultaneously sinners and saints? That may sound like the balanced view, but it's not the biblical view. You know why? Well, it's simple. The New Testament never one single time calls born-again believers sinners. Sure, you commit sins, but you're a saint who sometimes sins. That's why Paul, for example, addresses the saints at Corinth and the saints at Rome. They're certainly engaging in sinful activity, aren't they? I mean, just take the Corinthians for an example. They are having orgies practically at the Lord's Supper. There's one man sleeping with his father's wife. They're making a mockery in the church of the message of the gospel. And yet Paul writes them and he addresses them as saints, set-apart ones, holy ones. Their performance is off, but their identity is solid. So are you simultaneously saint and sinner? No. You're a saint who sometimes sins. If you were a sinner by nature, then the most normal and natural thing for you to do is sin. You could just wake up every day and be yourself. Sin, sin, sin. But that's not the truth of the gospel, is it? We're not told that we're bad and we should act good. We're not told that we're wicked, but we should act righteous. That would be a recipe for failure, a recipe for disaster. No, the gospel is very clear. You're a child of light, therefore walk as a child of light. In other words, you're a saint, set apart. So go ahead and let your attitudes and actions be set apart too. Go ahead and wear clothes that fit. You want to know what to wear? Well, put off envy and put off bitterness and put off resentment and put on love and put on Christ. Go ahead and wear things that are fitting for saints. So, is this just semantics? No, my friend. Maybe you have an issue with lust, but you're not a lustful person. You're a child of God with a lust issue. Maybe you have a struggle with alcohol, for example. Your identity is not alcoholic. You're a child of God, holy and righteous, a saint with a struggle. Do you see that you're not defined by what you do? You're defined by what Jesus did. He went to the cross, He was in the tomb, and He rose from the dead on that third day to make you a saint, a holy one, a person of God's own possession. This is way more than semantics. This has to do with your heart. Are you going to continue to say you're born again, but you're a dirty, rotten sinner? Will you say that you're born of God and born of the Spirit, but that you're a sinner in your heart? Is that what God gave birth to? Did the Spirit of God give birth to a dirty, rotten sinner with a wicked heart? Of course not. The day that you were saved, God gave birth to you. You are born of Him. And because you're born of His Spirit, you've got a new heart, a righteous heart, and you're a saint at the very core of your spiritual being.